It's the show that has Danny Parkins here. He's just been cruising. How did Parkins' picks do?
Well,
okay, that's fine. Your overarching
weekend was great.
Yes.
The Rams blocked field goal situation was
Don't worry about that. I'm talking about overall.
Wait, why? Listen,
it's the worst
a
losing
pick's a losing
Did both
pick.
of you guys struggle?
What? No, I'm fine.
He's 1-1 with tonight pending.
Yeah, I need
the worst gambling beat of the year.
Oh, this guy is whining.
What?
He had the Rams.
At Rams plus 3.5. They make the field goal, it wins. They miss the field goal, it wins.
Exactly.
They lost. Right.
Oh,
what was your record?
1-2.
Okay.
1-2.
But your other stuff is good.
My other stuff is great. Sorry, let's focus on the positives. Stay tuned.
But right now, good news. Chiefs are no longer winless. 1-3 in their last 4, but they are on a winning streak.
No, they're not on a winning streak.
Of 1.
That's not a streak. It's definitely not a streak. 1 can't be a streak. They ended a losing streak.
Yeah. They're on a streak, though. They started a streak.
Okay. I hope they did, but
Mahomes threw a few deep shots that connected or drew a DPI. Rushing attack appeared as the Chiefs ran for over 100 yards. That's good. What was your number one takeaway from this game?
they're going to be fine. That was my number. My number one takeaway is, honestly, now the worst case scenario is they're a wild card and they got to fight it out. Because it was this game plus what we were talking about before. Right now, the Chiefs are 1-2. There's only 7 teams in the conference with a better record than 1-2, and one of them's the Bengals, whose quarterback is done and they just got annihilated. One of them's the Steelers, who I don't think is very good. One of them is the Jaguars, who I'd like to tell you are very good, but I've watched every second of every game. They're not very good at the moment, and so had they lost, it's a whole different story.
Yeah.
So they stabilize and, in my opinion, showed progress in some concerning areas, not in all the concerning areas. The pass defense, which I was very concerned about after week 1, has steadied. Now, I'm not overreacting to shutting down Russ and the Giants, even though they just had that prolific game. But I no longer, after week 1, I was like, oh, my God, is this pass defense going to be really bad? I don't think that. The running attack was better, but I think the way to fix that is going to be to either get more explosives in the passing game that opens it up, or to trade for somebody. And to me, Thornton is not nothing. That they are having some level of success and willing to throw the ball downfield with Tyquan Thornton makes me feel like, oh, when Xavier comes back this week, when Rice is back in there, all those things are positive. And so they just needed to survive it. And that first half, it looked like they weren't going to. And then Mahomes flipped the game when he stole the ball away from the Giants. And the second half, I thought they played really well. So that's my biggest takeaway is they're going to be fine. They don't yet look like the Chiefs, but they don't need to look like the Chiefs in September.
I mean, that's a pretty big concession from you, actually, though. That they might have to fight it out as a wild card team, because success for the Chiefs is a Super Bowl, and everything short of that is a disappointment. They, to me, looked like a team that the 2 wide receivers coming back is not going to solve all of the problems. I'm with you that should help, and it's reason to be optimistic, and we will see if Xavier Worthy's performance and garbage time in the Super Bowl means he's going to be an awesome player, and Rashee Rice, I do think, is excellent. There's just something about it. Patrick Mahomes needed to play defense. I don't understand. Why is he throwing the ball backwards? That's not Mahomes.
No, I think
I don't really get. He was the guy, number 15. That's the guy that I've always been like, even if his stats aren't elite, he's the best player in football. And I was just like, why is he throwing the ball backwards? They just don't look like themselves.
Right, but
they haven't for a while now.
So all I would say is this is not they have had 3 separate, 4 actually now, stretches of football since they've been the Chiefs where they haven't looked like the Chiefs. And every year by the playoffs, they have figured it out and they look like the Chiefs. So my concern was, are they going to dig themselves such a big hole? You know what I mean? That they and had they lost this game, we have to start really talking about how big is the hole. But I agree with you, Danny, that just getting the receivers back won't fix everything. But I think some of the other things are looking better as the season goes on already.
If this is all if they didn't have a Rashee Rice and Xavier Worthy coming back, I think they would be in trouble by their standards. I still think they're going to be the wild card. I think the Chargers are going to win the division, and the Chiefs are going to have to fight it out as the 5th seed probably. But I think they're fine. They'll be fine there. But they have, the defense, Danny, it has been so good the last few years that I think it's going to just keep improving. Like, I think their it hasn't been great so far this season, but I think it's going to keep improving to the point where it's a solid defense. Offensively, Mahomes, when he gets his receivers back, I do think Thornton developing into a legitimate deep threat is big for them. And I think that can even open up a little bit of the running game where, like you said, Kareem Hunt is fine for what he does, but they just don't have any explosion.
I think they're going to have to trade for a
explosion from the run game. But look, I still got concerns about, like, now do I have to worry about Harrison Butker? Because kickers, sometimes it can get in your head if you miss some chip shots. So those are some of the things that I'd be concerned with, but I think they'll be fine.
My biggest takeaway was, and this is pushing it forward, is I can't wait to see the Ravens game.
Because that's going to be telling. Very telling.
Are the Chiefs a team that figured it out at halftime, and Collins was like, ooh, maybe they figured it out. Maybe, Mahomes is back to being Mahomes. Or are they the Cowboys are like, you're a team that beat the Giants?
Well, go ahead.
Well, no, listen, I think if the Chiefs played the Ravens in January, I'd give the Chiefs the edge. I don't think they're ready for Baltimore. They're an underdog at Arrowhead. I expect them to lose that game handily.
So, they have been
early Parkins picks forecast. Right now, you can get Baltimore -2.5. I don't think the Chiefs can keep up with Baltimore, and their defense has not proven to me to be some sort of difference-making unit that's going to slow down Lamar Jackson.
So my response to that would be, the Chiefs have proven, aside from the Super Bowl, over the last 5 years, that they literally can keep up with everyone, even when that means grinding the game to a halt. Like they have in their losses this year, they've kept up with everybody. And the Super Bowl, in my opinion, got away from them because of offensive mistakes, not defensive mistakes. And this another reason, again, I'm not conceding the division, to be clear. What I'm saying is I think now, obviously, they're 1-2. It's early to say anything's locked in, but I feel like it's hard to find 7 AFC playoff teams. So I feel like now the short-term goal of the season is to see if you can run down the Chargers. See if the Chargers give a game up they shouldn't, and then you get them again later. But the other part that does make me feel good about the Chiefs, and I made this point after week 1 as well, is watching the NFL. Because teams that we feel like are really good in contenders every week lose a game that the Chiefs simply never lose. The Chiefs never lose the game the Rams just lost, ever. The Chiefs never lose the game the Packers just lost, ever. The Chiefs never lose the game the Ravens just lost, ever. And as mediocre as the offense has been and the numbers have been the last 2 years, yes, big lead that they've blown or self-inflicted, you know what I mean? Just get on the bus with a win. So that has never stopped. So, like, as long as that maintains while the other things get better, I just think there's a margin for error.
Just quickly before we move on to Caleb, when we talk about Rashee Rice is not there, Xavier Worthy's not there, are we positive he's there? He's got a uniform on. He had 4 catches for 26 yards, and he's 36. Is it fair to be like, oh, Travis Kelce's not really there?
No,
he's just not nearly as good.
He's there, but it's like, that's the other, and they have Kelce, like, not really. No.
I actually think Kelce's one of the biggest benefactors of Rice and Worthy coming back. Because then he's not the primary attention seeker, especially down in the red zone.
KW, what do they call me?
Mr. Consistency, of course.
What did I tell you about Travis Kelce 1 year ago?
That he has a handful of
I said that he has 6 great games left in him, and I don't know how he's going to choose to fire that gun.
He banked that.
So he's got 6 left.
That was 2 great games ago. I think we've got 4 or 5.
Wow.
At most, great Kelce games left in his career, and I think when we see him, we see him. And he is the same age as Rob Gronkowski. Rob Gronkowski retired for the first time 6 years ago.
Yeah, it's wild.
Like, it's just what he's doing shouldn't be.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
Classic one from Danny Parkins. Caleb hosted his old head coach in Chicago, toasted Eberflus's defense. to the tune of 4 touchdowns and 143 passer rating. Okay, Danny, you've been riding with Caleb. Do you feel vindicated?
Of course. I've been waiting all day for these next 8 minutes. I'm so happy to be here. Do you guys want to play a game? Like, what was your favorite Caleb Williams touchdown? We got 4 to pick from. Like, it was glorious. Brew, you said that there was nothing he could do because the Cowboys defense, come on.
No,
Come
he
on.
was great.
He was great.
He was great, but
was great.
am I ready to say he's arrived?
No.
That's
He's gotta
all I was
stack
saying.
him.
Like I was saying, he had a great statement game, if you will. But there also is the thought of, was that just the Cowboys? Because we saw the difference between Russell Wilson versus the Cowboys and Russell Wilson versus the Chiefs. And it was stark. So I'm just saying, Caleb was fantastic. I don't want to take anything away from him. But
and that is
it was nice.
totally fair.
And lastly, last year he had some, not quite this good, but close.
Oh, no, he was very good against the Jaguars, the one game against Vikings.
I think the key now is can he be, he's not going to do that every game, but can he consistently play well, not make the mistakes, when the wild plays aren't there, be on time, all of that stuff.
Yeah, and I think that is all fair. He's got to stack good games.
Yep.
But for me today, like they tell players, like, enjoy it, 24-hour rule. And then you flush it and you move on to the next one. Like, that game
was great.
is, I'm 38 years old. I'll turn 39 next month. That is literally one of the best games I've ever seen a Bears quarterback have. And so out of these qualifiers, like, I've seen that game. It's been 3 times in my entire life.
I'm afraid about this graphic.
It's a hilarious graphic.
I wouldn't, Danny. I looked at your paper.
I'm doing it.
I would have rejected this graphic.
I'm doing it.
Just say it's one of the 3 best, guys. You're not going to want to.
Rex Grossman.
That
and Eric
doesn't
Kramer.
make you feel better.
Come on down,
Rex
baby.
Grossman. That's where I would have been like, that's not good. That's not
Danny?
good. That's horrifying.
I'm doing it.
That's horrifying.
There's a
no-no.
That's what I'm saying.
There's a reason, though.
Yeah.
Because I have seen it before, but it's like once every 20 years. It's like locusts.
But look at what those guys became,
Of course.
with all due respect.
Yeah, of course. But this was his 20th career game. And if you watched it, because we can move to the next graphic, this is the thing we haven't seen yet from Caleb. When he threw the ball deep, man, because his arm is unbelievable.
Yes.
That's great.
It is a Josh Allen, Justin Herbert, Mahomes,
Russell Wilson.
prime Aaron Rodgers.
We just saw Russell Wilson.
No, hold on.
No,
That's
no.
not what he's saying.
That's not what I'm
He's
saying.
saying the arm.
The
He has the
arm
arm
strength.
strength of those guys.
Well, I know, but against the Cowboys, Russell Wilson was airing it out to Malik Neighbors, too.
There was a air of, I would say, flukiness to some of the results on those moon balls that Russell Wilson throws. He is throwing the ball up in the air on a hope and a prayer. Caleb Williams took that pitch on the flea flicker from DeAndre Swift and flat-footed put it 62 yards in the air on a
Nobody's
on a
ever
rope.
questioned his arm talent. And the thing is, all 4 of his touchdown passes, the guys were wide open,
Yeah, the Ben
including the
Johnson
flea
effect.
flicker. Yeah, no, Ben did a great job calling plays, but also the freak out. Is it Matt Eberflus effect? I mean, that defense, it happens week in and week out. They're losing receivers left and right.
The funniest thing on Twitter over the weekend was everyone making some variation of the same joke that Matt Eberflus finally developed Caleb Williams because he had to play a Matt Eberflus defense.
Can I ask to the room I'm going to soft launch what I think is your take.
Ooh, I've got a lot of takes.
So this is is that side of the table, because everybody knows Danny and I both Caleb.
Well, can you
Never
settle
wavered.
this?
What do you mean?
Is he still I
do you
think
mean?
I'm more of a Caleb guy now than
that's
Nick.
obviously.
I mean,
you're
Nick
not.
is
Like,
he dropped him.
Listen, I know what you want me to say, and I will say it. I have no problem saying that Caleb Williams is and will eventually be regarded by the masses as the best quarterback of his draft class.
So that's what I was going to ask you guys. Do you think that's on the board? Because you didn't think that was on the board before.
Oh,
So,
I always thought it was on the board.
okay.
That he's better than Drake May and Jaden?
Yeah, well, I guess in both.
And
Broncos
I
fans
think it's
like
on the
JJ
board.
McCarthy
there's
and
only
Michael Penix.
There's 5 guys. Yeah, it's on the board.
Yeah, I'm with Wilds in that it's so early because look at C.J. Stroud at this point, and I'm not saying he's lost it, but I'm
Caleb's
just saying
better
right
than
now
Caleb.
he's dropped.
Right
But Jaden, just because it's the second year, I mean, I think Jaden will be better, but on the board for sure. On the board, yeah.
Can I
Am I
debut
predicting it?
somebody?
Not
Can I
necessarily.
debut a new character too?
Sure.
I have a new character, Rick. Oh. Mr. Pump the Brakes.
I like this.
Right.
Mr. Pump the Brakes
And
is
it's
making
directed at those two.
Yeah. Mr. Pump,
Don't want me in with him.
Mr. Pump the Brakes is here to say, pump the brakes.
Oh.
It's a bit of a one-trick pony, Mr. Pump the Brakes. He just says pump the brakes. It's against the. I just want to see. Let me see it.
Let's see it next week.
If he had a dud of if a great quarterback has a dud game, we say, you know what, one game.
Right.
Can I say something though?
To Mr. Pump the Brakes? Or
Yeah. If at the game you were at against a Steelers team that Justin Fields lit up.
Yeah.
And that a Steelers team that has been bad defensively in every game they've played. If Drake May had the game that Caleb just had, you would not be Mr. Pump the Brakes on it. We wouldn't be saying guys were running wide open. You would be saying this. You would be thrilled. You would be over the. Am I? I don't want to put words in your mouth.
No, it's hard for Mr. Pump the Brakes. He doesn't really do well.
Can I answer Bruce's question?
Not hypotheticals. Yeah,
Yeah,
Mr. Pump the
yeah,
Brakes is
yeah.
not in charge of the.
I'm the Caleb guy.
I'm with you. I agree.
I am the Caleb guy. He is not.
Oh no.
What is-
No, please
What
don't
is
do this.
Well,
Hubs.
What
this
is
is
this?
Thank you,
overtime.
Hubs. No, there's a delivery.
This should not be like.
Now I have to read a letter?
Oh, you.
What color
Can I
are
say
flowers are these?
something?
What's up, KW? Oh, you're mad that you're not involved
Mr.
in the
Pump
letter?
the Brakes is going to show up in the production meeting.
Pump the brakes on this segment.
This is too long to read. That is way too
Is this
long.
who is it from?
Yeah, read the front
Who's
of
it
the
from,
envelope.
Nick?
I don't. It says to Nick from your ex, dear Nicholas. At first glance, I thought you abandoned me was the worst thing that could ever
You got to
happen.
read it slowly.
It's too
dramatically.
long.
Well, you have to.
I'm not. I don't have your.
Yeah, exactly.
I can't
do it right or don't do it.
Thank
I
you,
realize what a
Hubs.
blessing it is. I'm finally free to spread my wings and fly now that I'm not weighed down by our toxic on and off again relationship. I always knew this wasn't going to work. I just needed that banner to push me in the right direction. Hope you find happiness you're looking for. XOXO, you know who. Please tell Danny I say hello. Okay.
It says sup.
I gotta.
Was that a breakup letter?
Here's the
What-
problem.
It was a nice breakup
What color are these?
Blue and orange, I believe.
for the Bears.
Bears colors. It's from Caleb.
Caleb, that was dumping Nick. Is that what? Or
Now you know.
Yeah, no, listen.
you
that
can't. He
narrative-
couldn't break up
problem.
with Nick
You
because
learned
Nick
a
broke up
hard
with him.
lesson here. It's a horrible bit.
Well, there.
No, the lesson is you read the letters from me.
Yeah,
That was a lesson.
I think that's correct.
Danny, you get to be the Caleb guy.
Thank you.
You are the junior varsity Caleb guy.
Okay.
That's it.
Oh, Judge
And
is
Brew,
ruling.
we kind of just root for Caleb because it's good for the sport, and he was on the show, friend of the show.
He is friend of the show.
Look, I'm pulling for Caleb.
Oh, so we're all Caleb guys.
I mean,
Chargers undefeated.
Everyone's a Caleb guy. What a win.
Justin Herbert threw the ball 47 times. I feel like that's an underrated storyline, including this. Might have been pass of the year. 300 yards, added touchdown. They moved to 3-0 with wins over the entire AFC West. Mr. Pump the Brakes back.
I mean,
Just pump the brakes.
I got some
Pump
words
the
for Coach.
brakes. Okay, Danny, how are you feeling about Herbert, your guy?
I feel like Justin Herbert, through 3 games, is the best player in football this year.
He does look amazing.
He looks unbelievable. And listen, I picked Josh Allen to be the MVP. Josh Allen is incredible. Lamar's incredible. Obviously, reasonable minds can disagree. We're parsing greatness here. But in what's that?
This is great. Sneak it in there. Parsing great.
We're
You guys
parsing
never
great.
want to play. We're parsing great.
But
no MVPs, no playoff wins.
I love it. Smart though. Excellent.
thank you.
Are we
Excellent.
parsing great?
I got the sense from you guys that you were getting a little tired of my comparison
Peyton Manning
of
thing?
Justin Herbert to
Yeah.
Peyton
Something
Manning.
new?
Yeah.
I thought you guys were getting a little tired of it.
You got a new one?
I wanted to compare him to different Hall of Famers
Great.
in terms of doing more with less. And this is Justin Herbert, 3-0 start, 850 passing yards, while being sacked 10 times.
Sacks are a quarterback stat.
Hold on a second. He had 2 injuries on his offensive line, and he's playing the Broncos, a top 5 defense in football. He was under pressure nearly 50% of the time that he dropped back. He got sacked 5 times. In the playoff game against the Texans, that resulted in 4 interceptions and a loss. This game, he's being pressured basically the same amount of time, and he comes from behind, wins that game. He's on a list with Breeze and Montana. And if you don't like the stat, can we watch the video?
No, this was the play of the year.
The game tying
Yeah.
touchdown where he gets away from Allen, who's 290 pounds, and then around Benito, who's their leading sacker, one of their best players on their team. That is a throw that, like, let's poll the audience. Like, how many people on planet Earth can make that throw?
No, listen. So that might be the play of the year in the NFL up to this point. Here is first of all, my frustration or my pushback.
You need some flowers?
What I think is
Blushing.
right now, after a game where, again, that was a great game-saving throw, in a game that prior to that throw, Herbert was uneven. Even with the throw with the 75 rating, right?
Yep.
By using that game to make he's been the best player in football take, you are acknowledging that you actually value the same things that us Neanderthals who didn't see the talent the way you did were saying all along, which is he needed to actually, he has had a dozen games in his career with better numbers than this, but they weren't for a winning team in a big spot in a comeback. And you are agreeing, in my opinion, that you actually need to be contributing to winning in big spots and do that in order to be elevated.
But I didn't say he should be the MVP of the league last year.
No,
I said that he was that level of talent.
No, but it was his numbers this year are the same, by the way, as Daniel Jones's. The reason we're saying he's the best player in football so far this year is because we feel like he is finally contributing to winning, which forever the Herbert defenders have said he doesn't have to in order to be the guy.
No, actually, the Herbert defenders among us in the past were like, he is playing well enough to win, and everyone else was letting him down.
Yeah, so it's I don't know how much he has changed, for good or for bad.
I do think he's changed. I think Harbaugh has helped him out a ton. We saw it last year with the lack of interceptions, but
I feel like he's throwing the ball 47 times.
He's throwing more. Welcome back. Time for a little stock up, stock down. Greg Jennings and Willie Colon are here. Pretty exciting, like a shockingly exciting at times. At the beginning of week 3, it looked like it was going to be a dud. Then every team was blocking kicks and returning touchdowns.
Got real fast.
And it was a crazy weekend in the NFL. So let's get into it. Whose stock is up?
Stock up. Jalen Hurts' passing. Go, Danny.
I asked for it. I was like, can Jalen Hurts win a shootout throwing the football? And I got to be honest, I was skeptical, and then he did it. And it was one of the most impressive games, I thought, of Jalen Hurts' career. In the second half, he basically did what he did in the first 2 games combined. So in the last 2 quarters, he did what he did in the first 8 quarters, except he added 3 touchdowns to the mix. Who knew throwing to A.J. Brown was a good idea? But sarcasm aside, seriously, that was wildly impressive from Jalen Hurts.
Oh, Danny boy.
Yeah, you called me.
The pipes are calling.
Thank you, Willie.
Listen, let's be very clear. Jalen Hurts won with poise over panic. When the room got loud, he was the adult in the room. And I don't care about the stats. That's Danny Parkins. That's DPs, right?
Thank you.
I'm talking about solely how he operated in the pocket. You're talking about gotta have it downs. Cadence, tempo, leaning on A.J. Brown, finding Devontae Smith in the red zone. Like, we saw this man operate like a true #1 quarterback. And so for all you haters out there, Jalen Hurts, he's your guy, he's my guy. And now he has to be DP's guy.
It was an impressive game. It was a very impressive game. I'm not taking anything away from him, Greg.
Yeah, this is definitely stock up, and this is what they should lean into when they identify their running game needs help. Just like sometimes the passing game needs help and to be opened up by the running game, so is true with the running game. And Jalen Hurts has proven in times when he's been asked and needed to throw the ball.
Sure.
He's been proven to do it and do it at a high level. So, yeah, stock is up.
I just would like to think that if you have Devontae Smith and A.J. Brown, you wouldn't wait till you were down 19 to do it. It doesn't seem like a necessary formula, but Jalen Hurts was wide. We'll get more into it.
I know, I'm trying.
We'll get more into it.
I'm trying to be cool.
I thought it was wildly impressive.
This man been talking a lot of mess for the last 2 weeks.
That's true. Whose stock is down?
Stock down. The seedless Cowboys.
Yeah, reports out of Dallas, CeeDee Lamb's going to miss at least the next 2 games with a high ankle sprain. Not expected to go on IR, though, which means the Cowboys would be without Lamb if the reports are accurate for the Packers game and the Jets game. CeeDee Lamb is the Cowboys offense, and I know so much conversation is about the Cowboys defense, and it's deserved because it's as bad as advertised. But going back to 2020, if your name isn't Justin Jefferson, CeeDee Lamb is the biggest percentage of any team's offense in the entire league.
That's fair.
Like, that's just that. You say I'm the stat guy. That is just the numbers. And I thought Nick put it great earlier. It's like their defense means the only way they can win is if they win shootouts, and without CeeDee Lamb, they can't win shootouts. It was obvious to anyone who's watched the Cowboys the last few years, Greg, that when CeeDee Lamb went down, there was no coming back from
That part right there. If you have eyes and you watch the Dallas Cowboys play and you've watched them, you understand those stats without needing to see those stats. Because the moment he went down was the moment I was like, up there in trouble, because he's such a huge part of why they are able to have success, and you can't in the middle of a game make that type of adjustment and expect players to then fill in those shoes. They might be okay offensively.
I don't know, man. I don't think that Pickens or Tolbert
when I say
can do what he
okay,
does,
I mean I'm not saying it's gonna equate to wins, but they might be okay. But Dak is definitely gonna press a lot more.
But Greg, you're not wrong. See, in my eyes, this is a blessing in disguise because this allows Brian Schottenheimer to get in his bag, lean on the offensive line, get this run game going, start feeding Jake Ferguson, their tight end, who was big in the past. Now he can come into fruition, and they have other pieces around him. For me, this allows Schottenheimer to have ball control offense because why? We know the defense isn't that good. So if you can control the clock, lean on the offensive line, and really get efficient production on first and second down and manufacture some layups for Dak, this Cowboy team can survive until 88 gets back in the offense.
Oof, it's a huge ask.
It is a massive ask.
What else you got?
No, out of desperation. And Dak's been great, but CeeDee's been such a huge piece of it. All right, whose stock is up?
Stock up, Danny's guy, Caleb.
Honestly, I petitioned for the segment to just be changed. Caleb Williams, comma, stock down. Because, of course, stock up Caleb Williams. He was synonymous with stock up. 4 touchdowns. How about this? 0 sacks for the first time in his career. Career highs across the board. And yes, of course, it was the Cowboys defense. But if he came in and struggled against the Cowboys defense, we'd be like, well, where was that?
Sure.
You know, he did what was expected of him and then some. He showed off his immense physical gifts. He did it on schedule. He did it within the structure of Ben Johnson's system. That was a sign, hopefully, of things to come.
This was a coming out party for Caleb Williams. Let's be honest. No sacks. He was able to extend drives. Everybody had a bite at the apple. And Dunze, Luther Burden, Cole Kmet, on and on and on. But if you're a Bears fan, this game was important because there was Bear fans like yourself and people at home. Did we just pick another bad quarterback? It was a legit concern. This game needed to happen for the Bears and this offense. And the fact that we saw production out of multiple people, including him, and we saw Bears fans smile and cheer, I was like, hey, man, stock up.
We just heard from the #1 Bears fan, and he ended his statement saying this is a sign, hopefully, for things to come.
Yeah, so I can't guarantee it's going to be that way consistently every week.
Exactly. And what we do realize, I'm going to answer the question first. It's stock up for this week.
Yeah. Got a little bump.
There we go.
They hit their earnings.
A little bump.
Yeah.
But we also saw stock up for Russell Wilson if he was able to have stock up last week against this Cowboy defense. So,
but do you think that was all it was?
I don't know. It looks like it was because of what Russ was able to do and then what he wasn't able to do this week. And then all of a sudden, Caleb has this fantastic game. I don't want to knock it because if you're playing a defense that's bad, you need to do this to that defense. And he did that.
So my only pushback is because it finally looked like him and Ben Johnson were on the same page as far as play calling, synergy, and how the offense moved.
So I agree with that. I agree. I thought they prioritized protecting him with 12 personnel, 2 tight ends, allowing him to ensure that he had time to go through those read and progressions so he didn't panic and get outside the pocket and use his legs like we've seen in the past.
It took a whopping 3 games for them to get on the same page.
Well,
rather now than December.
No, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
They're on schedule. Last one.
Stock down, the Steelers offense.
All right, so I know the Steelers won the football game. And I know the formula on paper was great defense, above average offense. Well, they got 5 takeaways in that game, and they were able to manage 21 points. And I watched that game, and exactly. That game was ugly. Look at the drop bar right there. Tied for the fewest points by a team with 5+ takeaways since 2022. The only way they win that game is with 5 takeaways. I just don't know if this is sustainable for Pittsburgh. In fact, I do know, and it's not.
There you go.
You know what I mean? Like that was a weird, ugly football game.
Listen, I have no fear of who the Steelers are at this point, right? Like they've been known to win ugly. You want me to say horrific things about the black and gold, and it's not happened.
Sure.
Aaron Rodgers, DK Metcalf was brought to be stabilizers and closers. That's what they do right now. Yeah, is the offense pretty? No. Did we win? Yes. Did our defense finally show up and play the brand of Steeler ball that we're used to seeing? 100%. Say what you want about the offense. They won the game. They closed the game. Defense played big. We're moving on to the next one.
Stock way down.
Oh,
okay.
Yes. A couple weeks ago, I said, I might be peeking at this Aaron Rodgers stuff. No. Hey, I'm with you. No, I cannot. If this is how they're going to continue to play, they're not going to generate 5 turnovers or have 5 turnovers just given to them,
Yes,
which is what took place yesterday every single week. And so, no, this you got to be better offensively, and I don't think they're.
And they will. I think. Listen, they just have to be more efficient, especially on third down. I think right now the offensive line has to figure out how they're going to run this ball. Arthur Smith is still trying to elevate this offense. The ceiling is way higher than it was last year.
Is it?
Yeah. 100%.
I think.
Is it?
I think.
Rosberg, come on, Greg.
I know, but
Right.
is it?
Come on.
I think it's a little higher. I will say this: no sacks for like that. Like he sacked what 7
What's the
times?
Brady rule? Being better 1% the next
Yeah,
guy.
no sacks for Aaron Rodgers. That's going to help
That's
him
fair.
survive to the next week, and maybe one more week after that.
Thanks for watching. Subscribe here to get more from the show and to check out clips from other shows on FS1.